So yeah, something's come up for me to talk about, and pretty excited to share that. So obviously we're here in Starbucks and we've just been doing some of our work, so essentially I want to go over how many calories are in your coffee. Now there's obviously so many different drinks on the menu, so many different things that you can order, extras, add-ons, whatever it might be. Now, unless you're paying close attention, those extras and add-ons can soon creep up, and there's a few little hacks that you can do in order to bring the calorie content of your drinks right the way down. So many people out there don't even track their drinks, they just think, oh, it's a drink, it doesn't contain any calories, whereas we know that essentially is going to add up and might be the reason why you're not losing weight. So I've got Dan with me, and we're going to go over our top tips for drinking in coffee shops, cafes, whatever it might be.
Don't do it.
Just don't do it. Just water. No, in all seriousness, there's a few easy swaps that you can do, okay? So one of those, for example, is selecting a different choice of milk. Most coffee shops will use whole milk or full fat milk, as it's supposedly more commonly termed as. And one of the best things that you can do straight away is just select the skimmed milk option, okay? So just to give you an example, in a grande or 16-ounce drink, you're looking at about, let's say you're going for a hot chocolate or a latte, which is predominantly made of milk. Obviously there's a small shot of coffee in there, but most of it is obviously milk. Coffee knowledge on point. Whereas obviously if you go for something like a flat white, which is a little bit less milk, and you could go for obviously a black Americano with a dash of milk, then there's a lot more ratio of actual coffee, and there's barely any calories in coffee itself anyway. So looking at whole milk, you're looking at about 326 calories in a drink about this size, okay? This is before you add any hot chocolate, any powder, any cream, any syrups, okay? So that's 326 calories from just the milk. So swapping that for skim straight away is gonna give you 166, so half.
That is literally half.
Yeah, it is half.
50%.
Exactly. The difference is the fat content, okay? So in the whole milk option, there's about 19 grams of fat, and in the skimmed milk, there is only half a gram of fat. So just that single swap alone is going to save you, 160 calories, which isn't loads in the
grande scheme of things.
In the grande scheme of things, but over the course of the day, that is all going to add up, especially if you're slamming back a couple of these. So how can we trim this down even more, apart from the obvious going for a smaller drink?
You cannot have the syrups and cream on top. Another way you can do it is, instead of having a latte, is have a cappuccino, which has got less milk in it further.
Or again, go for a flat white and more condensed version. And we haven't even got into the consideration of actually adding in sugar, but obviously sweeteners and sugar-free syrups, if you do like those, that's what I would go for. Now, a tip here from, I really enjoy coffee, and I'm a big fan of the flat white. Now, if you find your coffee to be very sour, it might be because you're asking for it too hot, okay? So typically what I'll do is I'll ask for my drink if I'm in a Starbucks or a Costa, something like that, kids temperature, because the milk doesn't get burnt, it keeps a little bit of the sweetness from the milk, and therefore you don't need to add any extra sweetness into it. So,
and you feel really manly doing that, as well.
You do.
It's a great feeling.
Yeah, and obviously the other alternative to this whole thing is just to have a black Americano. It's literally calorie free, and again, if you're having like 2 to 3 of these over the course of the day, maybe have a couple of those and then a milky drink, and in that way you're saving yourself. If you were to typically have 3 of these, take out those swaps, you could be saving yourself 400 to 600 calories a day just from better choices and also better swaps.
Sometimes people have a recommendation of just cut out the lattes and go straight to Americano, and some people don't like it because it's such a massive change. So mine would be go from a latte to cappuccino, and then once you've got that nailed, you can also buy your own sugar-free syrups at home, and you could put it in a small container, take that with you, so then you can still have the sweetness of the syrup, caramel flavour potentially, but no calories.
And if you're the belief that caffeine will upregulate fat oxidation, having it with a boatload of calories, whether that's from milk or coconut oil or butter, is completely pointless, and again, not helping you whatsoever. So take the butter out, take the coconut oil out, and just get yourself a nice tasty drink without even less calories, right?
Save that for your butter bomb.
Don't do a butter bomb. Don't do that. Dan's not allowed on the channel again. So as you know, this was meant to be a 12-week video series on gaining muscle. However, I've recently found something out which I'm going to talk about at the end of this video. I'm going to be starting prep. I'm going to get to that at the end of the video, but for now, we're heading to the gym. So I've just picked up these. These are Dr. Zach's high protein chocolate cookie chips. 15 grams of protein per one. So I've had to buy two because 15 grams is not enough, Dan, is it?
It's probably not, no.
To spike muscle protein synthesis, which basically means, what do you call it, the ignition switch to build muscle. So I need about 30 grams, so I've gone for two. I've gone for two flavours.
Probably cost about £8.
No, actually, no. See, I normally have 2 carb killer bars, but they retail at £2.59. These were £1.79.
Wow.
So actually,
bargain.
I'm saving myself about £1.50.
And they're sugar free.
Well, let's not worry about that.
So.
And also, they are lower in fat.
Than two?
6 grams.
Wow.
Rather than 8, so they're lower in fat.
Let's see how they taste.
Let's see how they taste. This is going to be the taste test. I mean, it looks like
shit, but looks dry. Bit dry, is it?
Yeah, it's quite dry.
Yeah. He's trying to slur his words now. He's getting them out.
Because I've got a drink though to go with it.
Yeah.
I'd buy it again, you know.
But you don't like food, so it's alright, isn't it, for you? In other news, the Monster's pretty good. Steve, we need to move, mate.
To the broken sound, you're the only one that can calm me down. My head spins in circles, so I'm dizzy now. All of this time I should have figured it out. I'm a free animal, free animal. I'm a free
So I've just got back from the gym and I've just been spending some time looking over my nutritional numbers, so how much I've been eating, my calories, my weight change over the last basically 4 weeks in particular, in kind of assessing that data. Now at Teambox, which is my company, that is exactly what we do for our clients. We every single week take a look at exactly what they're doing, how their weight changes, how much activity they've been doing, having a look at what they've been eating in terms of their calorie balance, and make adjustments, and we set our guidance based on those weekly changes. So yeah, something's come up for me to talk about, and pretty excited to share that. But first, I just want to find out if you have any questions at all about muscle gain. As you know, this series is about, or was going to be about, muscle gain, and I want to finish that off or include a really good Q&A. So I'm going to film that question and answer session next week, and what I want to be able to do is answer lots of people's questions. So if you've got a question around muscle gain, off season, what you should do if you're thinking about competing, basically before you start a diet, or what you should be thinking about if you're coming off the back of a diet and you want to add as much muscle mass as you possibly can, comment below in this video, and I'll go through this thread along with any questions that I've had on my Instagram. So at Stephen Box, you can find me there, and you can send me a direct message. And basically I'm going to bring all those questions together, maybe put them in categories, and I want to be able to do a video for you guys, bringing up the questions, answering them, so you get some really good detailed information, but the science and also the application. So yeah, if you've got a question, comment below. So as I mentioned at the start of this video, I've had to reassess things. So after taking my body composition, measurements, progress pictures, I've had 18 months being in off season. 18 months pushing in more food, eating as much as I possibly can and gaining as much muscle as I possibly can. Now, the original goal was to compete around September time, but a few things have come up. One of those being the Teambox family, which is all of our Teambox clients' photo shoot, and I kind of need to get a bit ready for it, which is going to be in 12 weeks time in April. Now, I'm not going to be in condition shape in 12 weeks time. However, by bringing my prep forward just by, 6 weeks, I'll be able to lean down enough to look hopefully in a decent photo shoot condition ready for that, because I want to be able to help and teach people how to model. And if I need to be in good shape for that, then that's just going to help that little bit more when I'm showing people how to pose and how to model. And the other thing about this is it means that I can be a little bit leaner, a little bit earlier, and potentially do more shoots and more shows around July time. So I'm aiming for a July shreds, and then what I can do is maintain my condition over the summer through August into September, and seeing then how well I do into October, which shouldn't be too bad to maintain that. So looking at my data, I'm 86 kilos at the moment, which is the most I've ever been in an off season. Previously, I got to 84 and I diet down to around 70, and then probably add another 2 to 4 kilos on in my carb up weight. So I'm gonna try and lose another 10 kilos again and get down to 76 kilos. And in order to do that by July, I need to be losing around 0.45 of a kilo on average a week, which is roughly 50% of my body, half a percent, sorry, should I say, which is roughly 0.5% of my body weight loss per week. It's not gonna be an easy feat. I'm currently maintaining calories on 3,500, so my starting calories for this prep is going to be at 3,000, and I should see half a kilo of weight loss on average per week. And if I can do that and maintain that rate until July, then we're pretty set. So prep begins. It's going to be week 1. Next week we can catch up and see how my conditions changed from my previous video that you've already seen, and hopefully my weight will be down, and it's not going to be linear, it's going to fluctuate, and I can share that with you, so essentially you can see exactly what happens, because it's too easy to freak out if you start seeing those fluctuations and not know the reason behind those numbers. So I'm really excited to be documenting this journey again. So last time it was just a very short series of videos, but I'm really committed with this one. We're going to be doing Q&As, vlogs, full days of eatings, full training videos, absolutely everything I can possibly cover and document my journey till stage. So make sure you subscribe, and if you ever get a question, comment below and I'll make sure this either answered in the thread or on the next Q&A video. See you later.